Hi everyone, I have been asked to do a picture out of Hanna Karlzon's latest book Atlantis, and so I have at last got time to do it. I was quite tied up with Halloween things, but now we're past that. I can do one from here. Now I've picked this one, it's really near the back, this little frog. I just thought he was so cute, so I'm just trying to fold the page. I haven't coloured anything in this book yet, apart from the very first little teeny tiny crab that I did. These pages almost feel smoother to me than the other versions of Hannah's books that I've got, but I've got her English version, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but we're going to have a go and find out. Now I've grabbed my Staedtler Ergosofts because obviously we've got a lot of little details on the page. I might regret it when I start doing these bigger areas, but we'll see how it goes. Let's just start with our frog, I think, and then see where we get on. I hope you like frogs. We're going to do the crown first, actually. And I'm going to do it gold, and I should show you how to make gold with Ergosofts. I've probably done this lots of times before, but just in case you haven't seen. So we want a dark brown first. I am picking the 77, which is just trying to find it. I think this is the tobacco brown. Actually, my list says warm sepia, which is really interesting because another list I've got calls it tobacco brown. How very strange. And I'm going to do the very darkest parts here with this. So I'm just looking and thinking, where is it going to have the most shadow? So I'm thinking in there. Oops. And the idea is to get it quite dark on the edge. It's just sharpen the pencil. This Staedtler Norris Club is the one that Staedtler recommend for their pencils. They do several different styles of sharpener. That's better. I want it quite dark on that edge, and then fade it in. Just on a tiny tad along here. It's not even really showing up. Now let's go deep into there and a little bit around this edge. I want that to look like it's a sort of raised bit. I think it does already now. Well, the sun's going to shine. Hang on, I'm going to shut the blind because it's going to start shining in my eyes. My camera will adjust in a minute, hopefully. There we go. I think that's okay. Now I'm thinking dark down here. I'm keeping an eye on my my tablet at the same time because my niece has been chatting to me, and my son and my sister. So I'm way busy, involved in about 3 conversations, but I want to get this done because I've been waiting to do it. It's a cute page. Now what's going on in here, do you think? I'm thinking we'll make it quite shadowy and dark. I'm going to put down quite a bit of this, like that, so darker on the edge. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a gap and we're looking into the centre of the crown, where I think it would be dark. That's my guess. You can do it differently if you want, if you know better. But I just got to guess. There we go. Now all of these lips edges are going to be gold as well, but I don't want to start with such a gold, such a dark colour really. Yeah, I'm a bit confused because we've got a bit here, but here we've got a loop. So I'm thinking this bit and this bit I might do as if they're gemstones, and then put this bit into the into metallic. Not really sure. So we'll go to our next brown. Now we don't really have a pale brown that isn't quite sort of reddish. This is 73 and it is our burnt sienna. So it's going to make our gold a little bit reddish compared to maybe if we'd use just a sort of raw umber or something like that. But we just don't have that colour in this set. So we have to use what we've got. Hopefully it would all come off. So again, We're going over what we've done and then just fading it in a bit. Like that. And we're going to do that across all of it. And yes, it's looking quite orangey, but we're going to put other colours in and hopefully it'll sort of fade back. But even if it looks coppery, I don't think that matters. Now once I have sort of extended these darker areas, we shall look at the other areas that I haven't started yet and put some colour down on those as well. One bit at a time, just working through it methodically. Try not to jump all over the place too much, or else I get myself in a muddle. Sometimes I do that though. There we go. So I'm thinking this sort of, these lip, I want them a little bit like that, and this one. So just where I think it would be darker. I'm just guessing. You can go and find pictures of crowns or jewellery and things and look at it, and it's not going to look the way I do it, but I'm hoping the way I do it looks near enough, which is all that matters to me. And it's not a photo, I'm not going for photorealism. If I was, I wouldn't be using Staedtler Ergosoft pencils. And they're good, nice pencils for little detail, but they're not like artist quality. But although I'm sure a really good artist could probably work them well. Right, there we go. So next I am going to use, yes, number 16, which is our sort of ochre. I think it's called golden ochre, I might be wrong. Yeah, golden ochre, 16. There we go. And again, on all of it, extending what we've done. So for example, I start down here, just extend that. Now I want one more colour and some white, so I've got to leave enough space. I'm going to sharpen, and you can see how that's toned down that orangey look a little bit, so that's good. I'm going to leave these bits, I think they want to be dark, so I'm not going to go back over those. I've jumped up here when I should have done this. They're not very methodical after all. Probably should have done a bit on the top in the other colour, but never mind. It's it'll work, I know. Sorry, I've gone back down here now. Oh, I can smell smoke. Someone's have a fire. It's that sort of, it's a weird weather. I'm feeling cold. I've got my cardigan on, as you can see. But I'm actually feeling too hot in my cardigan, but I'm feeling like chilled. I can't explain it. It's weird. I just feel, what I want to say is I want to feel comforted by having something round me, but it's really a little bit too warm. This cardigan is a really, really hot cardigan, which is nice. It's from a shop called Lily and Me, which is a local-ish to us. And it's not wool, because I can't wear wool, it makes me itch. So it's like acrylic and all sorts of nasty plasticky things. But it's just so thick and warm, which is nice. But I had been wearing a hoodie earlier in the year, in like last month, which wasn't as warm as this, but it's got such a big hood. I know this sounds silly. It's so heavy, the hood sort of feels like it's pulling the whole piece of clothing back away from me. Ooh, and it's uncomfortable to wear, which is a shame because it's nice. Yeah, I think that's that. Last colour. Now I want a yellow. Now we have quite a few yellows. We have our dark sand. We have our, oh, it's called sand, light yellow. We have yellow. The sand is slightly orangey. The yellow is just yellow. Might not show up. I think I'm going to go for the sand because though it's slightly orangey, it'll be bright and it'll work with the sienna-y tones that we've got there going on already. So this is 11. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go over everything, but leave some white. Now Hannah's drawn these lines on here, which I think are we're sort of meant to go over in white and leave a sort of shine, but I think I'm just going to leave some white like at the end of each of these little bits. It's probably a bit too much on some. I'm just going to sharpen. I think it's a little bit blunt. That's better. Like that. And then over everything here. And just extend it. I'm actually going to go to the edge and leave my shine sort of in the middle. I think it would just make a little bit more sense, at least to me anyway. Like that. And the same here, I'm actually going to colour that bit and leave a white bit there. Just, I don't know, for me it just sits better. And it's up to you how you sort of complete yours. Oh, I haven't done that one, have I? Thinking if we put the shine bits next to each other, that would sort of make sense. I'm thinking, I'm distracted while I'm doing this, trying to think about what I'm going to cook tonight. We all shop on a Saturday and it's Friday recording this, so I've got all the leftover bits and pieces in the fridge to use. There's nothing that's cooked. So I have got some sugar snap peas. I have got a little bit of bok choy, half a bag of spinach and some broccoli spears. What on earth am I going to cook with that? Anyways, right, I've just realised that the device I was talking to my niece on, I don't have the app on my tablet. I'm just going to go and grab it. That's better. I feel connected now to my family. Right, I'm going to look at these jewels now. I'm thinking I could do them all the same colour. I could vary the colour a little bit. We could try and match the colour down with what we do down here, maybe. So I'm thinking if I use, say, a dark green, I could do the same green for the bits, these sort of bits here. Maybe, yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab the, do we use that? Yeah, 38. It's really sharp. Look at that. This is the sea green. I'm going to use that for some of the stones. I'm not going to do them all the same colour. I think I'll do these little ones. Now I can't do much with them apart from block them in because they are so teeny tiny. But I'm happy with doing it like that. And I'm just doing all the teeny tiny ones with this green. And maybe that top one, but I'm going to try and go around and leave a white bit in the middle. Almost. Now I'm going to use I was going to say red, I've got to decide because number 2 is red, but I feel that it isn't such a good red as the 29, which I'm going to use. 29 is the carmine red, but I feel it's a better red than the 2. I think it's a little bit orangey for my personal liking. So I'm going to do this one at the top first. I feel like that red and green together. It's pretty cool. Try to make it a little bit lighter in the middle. Like that. Now if this was really big I would use several shades of red, or I would use a bit of black to put some, but I think that's fine for our purposes. And then this one, I just trying to make it look a little bit lighter in the middle. I don't really want it white, but a little bit lighter. Same here. And it gives it a little bit of shape as well, and works with that shine line that's going down there. And then, now in my previous video I made a mistake. I said that Johanna Basford's book was coming out on the 6th of November, and that's completely incorrect. Well, it's that week, but it's not that day. I think the 6th of November is a Monday. Her book comes out on the Tuesday and the Thursday, depending on which country you're in. I think I was just getting a bit overexcited. So there'll be a few more videos before that one comes out. There's one I've been asked to do that I recorded earlier, and this is one I've been asked to do as well. So I think these are all the ones. This is 6, which is called, I think, Violet. Yes, and we're going to do the remaining ones with this. So I think I've done all the ones I've been asked to do, apart from someone asking me to do Johanna's new book from cover to cover. I'm still not sure if that's going to be a realistic aim. She did share a few pictures from her new book actually today, which is quite exciting. They were like underwater type pictures, which were rather cool. There we go. So there is the crown. But I think we'll move straight on and do the necklace, because we'll use the same colours. Now, we've got the circles, the beads, we've got this piece, and we've got the sort of chain. I'm thinking we could do a gold chain. That piece I think could be in gold, and then maybe the beads in these colours. Would that work? Maybe we could avoid green, because he's going to be green. I've already decided that. So maybe we'll avoid green, and we'll make the chain in gold. It's going to be tricky, it's really small, but I'm going to grab my very dark brown, a 77, and do the tiniest bit at each end of the sort of cord. I know it's really cord, but I think we can make it look brown. I'm going to give it my best go anyway. If you think it's too tricky, just do it black. And I'm going to even do it on this bit. I feel like this bit would be gold. I don't know why I think that. I think that bit's going to be darker in there. There we go. And then we're going with our 73, our burnt sienna. I'm going to give it a sharpen. It's going to need to be so fine. Now, I don't know if you like frogs or toads. I rather do. I think they're quite rather nice to watch. I don't know why. I go to my local wetlands trust, and I do like looking at them. And a lot of them just seem to sit there really still for long periods of time. I think, would that be a nice life? Probably not. To be fair, probably not. This is the golden ochre number 16. I think it might not be so stressful, but it might be a bit boring, you know. Oh, that one broke. It's unusual for an Ergosoft to break. There we go, I think. Oh no, it's stuck in my sharpener. Hang on a minute. Right, that's sorted. It was too full, and therefore it broke. So this is the golden ochre, as I probably said. Gosh, it's really sunny this afternoon, and I think I'm going to make that my final colour. I want to leave a tiny bit of white. It's I just don't have much room. I often use this on its own for gold anyway, because it's such a good colour. Yeah, it's very close to gold, I think. Sorry, I'm concentrating there. There we go. So as I said, I'm not going to use the green for the beads. I shall use the red and the purple, I think. I've just drawn there. That's clever of me, wasn't it? Oh, let me just erase that. Don't do that. It can be erased, but it's better not to. In fact, it hasn't erased very well. I'll probably do a background of some sort anyway. So for violet first, number 6. Now these are a bit bigger, so we've got a bit more space to create more of a feel. So I'm going around that edge a lot more, a bit less towards the middle, and the idea is to make it paler in the centre, like that, and then every other one, and the others will be red. It's easier to do all of one colour than all of another, like I did with the crown, with the brown and then the sienna, and then if you keep going from picking up one colour and then pick up another, it slows you down. I also find it a little bit annoying. Now, getting there. What I've decided is today we'll do Mr. Frog / Toad, we'll do all of him. And then we may leave the island and the water for another day, but I've only got 2 days to fit this in because Monday, because it's Saturday that this will go out, I think I worked out. We've got planner day. So, and the planner is quite a complex one. It could take some time. Oops. So, and then with Johanna's new book coming out, I don't know when it's coming out. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to get it. I always get annoyed that it comes out in the USA before the UK. Grr. It's unfair. I'm going to stamp my feet and complain. But apparently that's the way publishers do it. In the UK, most books are published on a Thursday, and in USA, books are published on a Tuesday. It's very weird. I assume there's some statistical evidence to show. I'm just going to grab my 16 because a bit of this is too white. That's better. I assume there's some statistical evidence that it's better to do that particular day or something. Right, we're going to do his eye next. Now, his eye's been carefully drawn. If you have a look, we've got a circle here and a circle there. Now, this circle I think is meant to be a white shine. Now, I don't know what a frog's eye looks like, but I'm going to make this centre bit black. So sorry, I've got my number 9, which is the black. Now, because the Ergosofts aren't that vibrant, you're going to need a few layers of this to make it look really dark. And I'd like to make it look really dark. The sun's gone in. Feels like summer. So sunny today. It was raining. When I got up, it felt really cold, like we'd had a frost. And then it was raining. And now it's sunny. I'm going to use my grey, 80, I think it's the light grey, yeah. Going to make him look like a fish eye. So that's how it's been drawn. So I do quite a lot here. And I'm going to fade it so there's none at the top like that, and the same down to the bottom. You may have seen me do this before. And then here the same, so there, and fade it up there. And fade it down here. It means that white bit has got nothing around it still, so it will show up as a shine, but we've got a sort of shine as well that I've put in. Okay, our frog. Now I want our frog to be green. Maybe it's a bit dull, but that's what I like. Now in the Ergos we haven't got a huge selection of greens, not compared to the design journey that I've also got, but I'm going to do my best with the Ergos and stick with them. Now what I'm going to start with is the light olive, which is number 56. Mine's quite small, and I'm going to go all over Mr. Frog with this colour to start with, and then we're going to add another colour to put in some shadows and shading. Now I'm not going to press too hard because I don't know how this paper is going to stand up to, excuse me, pressure. And I can layer up my colour. These dots, like the sort of warts, I guess they're supposed to be, I'm going to colour those over as well. Now they won't be this colour at the end, but I'm just going to do everything in this colour to start with. It's such a pale colour, we can easily colour over it if we don't push it down and burnish it into the paper. So I'm just being careful and putting down a fairly lightish layer. I'm layering up a little bit, but not hugely, because I know there's going to be other colours in here. Like this. Do you think he's the Frog Prince? The Prince of Atlantis? I was a little unsure about this because underwater water themes are not always my thing, to be honest. But it was rather pleasing because it wasn't all like fish. It's the fish that I'm not... Yeah, sometimes I'm in the mood for colouring fish and that's great, but not always. You know, but we've got a mix of people, animals, above and below water. So it's a good because, and things also like statues and flowers and things. So there's a big mix of things. So it's not just fish, which is what I wasn't keen on. So I was rather pleased, but I just had to order it. Actually, husband ordered it for me because it's good like that. Well, he's always ordering books, so if I even mention that I want something, he's like, do you want it? Do you want it now? Should I get it for you? You know, I think he just offsets his own guilt. But it is nice because obviously some people wouldn't do that. They just buy things for themselves and not other people. But I did want this one. I thought it'd be nice to get it to show you anyway, in case you were wondering what it was like. I mean, it's not for release in the UK. I think the English edition, which I guess is the American edition as well, is I think it's next year. I know some people have pre-ordered it already off Amazon, I think, anyway. Right, that's a little bit messy, but I'm going to leave it there for now, add in some of my darker bits, and then come back and tidy it up. So I'm going to start with the slightly darker green, the is it called the this one 57 is the olive green. Okay, and I'm going to start putting in some shadows. So let's have a little think. So we've got a leg here, and I think there's going to be a little shadow here where it's near the body, like that, and a little bit there, and that's probably it. And now I'm going to grab my 56. Now this isn't the way I always colour things. Sometimes I'll do all of one colour then the other, but I just want to do this little area. So I'm going to go over what I did with the 57, darken everything up, but then just try and keep it a bit lighter towards the edge where I think it might be reflecting light, like that. So that's our finish, but you can see it looks a lot better than this sort of wishy-washiness we've got going on here. We'll look at this leg now, and I'm thinking the bottom might be more shadowed, so let's put a little bit of this along the bottom of the sort of foot. I guess they are feet, aren't they, and legs, like that, and just fade that up, so just like that. And I'm thinking in here, look, there'd be shadow like there was here. Oh, it's a car alarm. I wonder what the noise was. It's very old to hear car alarms now. We used to have a garage at the end of our road, like car sales, and they were often going off, but it's closed down, so I don't know where these car alarms are. I guess they're just down the road. It's quite a long road. It's quite a lot of cars, I guess. Right, so there's that bit. Toes. I think let's do the edges of these toes like that. I'm thinking. I don't know if you can hear that alarm, but anyway, it's not that loud. I'm assuming my boy got to his lesson okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this bit up here too, because I want a shadow there, and just fade that quite quickly up because that's going to be paler. And by using the pencil on the side I can get a larger coverage, and I'm thinking here. As well. And then of course under here. Sorry, I changed my mind about chopping and changing pencils. Thought I'd do all of this bit next. Just to confuse everyone. No. Just thought it'd be easier. Keep going back and forth, especially as they're so similar numbers and they look so similar. It might have been a bit confusing. Yeah, my son was saying he's got so much to do. We've got a my niece's birthday party to go to on Sunday, which will be lovely. But my son said he's got to write. He's got a 500-word essay to write and a presentation to prepare, where he's got to, because most of his group haven't bothered to do anything. He's got to write all their scripts and get all the slides ready, so that hopefully they can just record their bits next week. He doesn't mind doing it because he knows it means he'll get the grade, because basically everybody has to share the grade. So they have to sign a declaration saying they've all contributed evenly, but he's like, well, I'm happy to just sign it and, you know, just do the extra so that I get the grade, which I think is a very mature viewpoint really, because I think some people will go, well, if he's not doing anything, I'm not going to. So now we're going back to 56, and then they would end up not getting a good grade themselves and just going, oh, well, it wasn't my fault, it was my group's fault. And it's like, well, yes, but you are responsible for yourself, so you need to just you know, have a go and do it and just get on with it really. That's my attitude anyway. Maybe it's wrong, I don't know, but I think it's better to just you know, be sort of, I guess, be selfish in a way and do their work so they can't do it. But, well, I mean, if they were willing to do it, then he would let them. So I suppose it's quite the opposite of selfish, really. Just let them get the grade as well, but know that you know, did the work. But you know then in your head that you're capable of doing it. When you've got to do it again, you're confident, and they're not, because they haven't done it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gently colouring over and darkening up the frog, trying to make the edges a little bit darker, some shadowy areas and some lighter areas. It makes our frog look more three-dimensional, and also not so flat colour-wise, which can just add a bit of interest, and it makes it more interesting for me colouring it too, to have a few different colours and tones and things in it. Now I think there'd be some shadow underneath our jewellery. I'm not going to do that now or with this colour, so we'll do that later. We'll just get our sort of body done, if that makes sense. Oh, sun's gone in again. I think that would probably be a bit darker under there, really. There we go. Now, if you want to, on the areas that you want to be lighter, if you feel that it needs more colour, but adding more colour will stop the you being able to see the contrast, you can use a yellow. I find the light yellow is very good with these two colours. I might do that. I might use some myself in a bit. I will see how it looks as I add layers. Now you do have to be patient with your Ergosofts. if you want some vibrancy, you have to layer them up. They don't just go down dark. I mean, you can push hard, but that's not ideal, is it? So you just have to keep layering. Now, I am going to use a bit of yellow. I'll show you that in a minute. However, I want to do these first because I find yellow for some reason seems to burnish more than other colours. I'm just putting a stripe of dark around the eye. So I'm going to do these first. Now I was thinking I might do them in brown. I think I'll do a slightly different shade. I'm going to use this dark brown. This 76 is the Van Dyke brown. Now some of them I will just colour right in like that. But I might make some darker at the bottom than the top, these larger ones. I definitely want them to look all brown, but I'm just thinking they might be a bit darker at the bottom. My sister's messaging me. My son got a bank card through today, which was quite a breakthrough. We've been trying to open him a student account for ages, and they keep saying he needs photo ID, which has to be either a passport or driving licence, which he doesn't have. So I applied with him to a bank that he already had an account with, thinking that would be okay. But they basically said no. But they have just sent him a bank card without any letter confirming he's got an account. It's really confusing. I mean, so it's a bit odd, to be honest. So we need to get in touch with them and work out what's going on, but didn't have the time today. He had to get off to college, and I actually was busy with a few bits and pieces myself. I just didn't want to be... I mean, when you phone a bank, you're usually on hold for a long time, maybe an hour, half an hour. I just didn't quite have the time or the patience, to be honest, for that. Yeah, I don't want to go sit on the phone for ages and then be impatient with the person at the other end when it obviously isn't their fault at all. So I just felt I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to grab the light yellow, which is number 10, and do some of these areas here, like here where I want it to look like there's a bit of a bright shine, but it will just add a bit more vibrancy to our picture, I feel. And along here. There we go. And then I'm going to put in a few areas of darker shadow. I'm actually going to use number 52, which is a darker green. And I've sharpened it, so here it is, 52. And we're going to go under this crown to start with. You could use a black for this, but I'd rather keep it in his skin tone around the back of his eye. Under here, so where we've got a really defined space. And under here, if it looks a bit too stark, you can always blend it in with, go back over with your 57. I don't know why I'm so bad at remembering. I think it's because they're numbers. And I'm just going to also do under the necklace. As I say, you could do this in brown, but we've got brown in our golds, so, and brown for the sort of warts, so I figured it might be too much. It might disappear. Do a bit of shadow under some of these sort of bits. But yeah, you could do it in black. I think it might work in green. hoping so, obviously. So I'm just going underneath all of the little brown bits, hoping it's going to look like shadow. Nearly done. I'm getting thirsty. I think I'm going to have to go make a coffee before I do the next bit. Right, let's have a look. Let's sit back and have a look at him. I think he looks quite regal. You could keep layering. I'm tempted to just put a bit more of my 57, sorry, down here. Just a bit darker, I'm thinking. But, you know, it's up to you how much you fiddle and faddle and how many layers you put in. There we go. I'm going to leave him there. I think he looks rather smart. I'm going to leave the whole thing there for today. We've obviously got to do the island and the water, and I don't think it's going to take that long because the water and the sky are going to be in soft pastel. The stars are going to be in a sort of metallic or glitter pen, and yes, so it won't take too long to sort of finish off those details. So yeah, there's Mr. Fogg. I'm rather liking him. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment, all those things. Let me know what you think his name is. I am thinking, I'm not sure. I'm going to have a think and tell you tomorrow, in tomorrow's video, what name I've come up with. You let me know what name you've come up with. I'm be quite interested to see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.